Hey guys, how are we all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our BTC morning update. Cutting it fine here. It should be morning by the time you get this, or in the UK anyway. It'll definitely be morning, obviously, in the US. But anyway, let's go straight up to those charts. So yeah, our 4-hour time frame. So it looks like we're obviously having a bit of a battle with this zone, with this resistance zone, this 9,400 to 9,500 zone. So it does. I mean, on looking at this, based on the 12-hour Stokes as well, it would definitely be leaning towards the bearish side, potentially coming down to test the 9,200 zone. Test 9,200 zone, see if we can get supported there and get supported by our ascending triangle trend line. Obviously that's not ideal. We don't really want to be cutting it that fine. The ideal scenario is if we start closing some candles above 9,500, and I think that will pretty much, if we start to close, like I said, a 4-hour above here, I do think that will confirm actually at least we're going to stay in this range for a bit and try and make a move for 9,700. But yeah, I mean, if I had to guess though where we're going to go this weekend, I would probably say I would guess that we're gonna move down. That's what I think is more likely, based on 12-hour Stokes, based on us not really being able to hold above this zone, and just based on obviously the ferocity of this move down. Whilst I don't necessarily think we'll take out this zone here, this 8,900. I mean, but I do think we can get down to this 9,200 on a closing basis, and then potentially even on a wick. I mean, it's only $200. We could get a wick down to here, potentially even lower than that wick, and we'll just obviously have to hold our breath and hope it's a wick, and we can remain back in the triangle. So yeah, that's I mean, it is a bit dicey at the moment. It is the weekend. Obviously keeping a track on this weekend. Wall Street's coming off a little bit, which we obviously know that may weigh on Bitcoin. In respect to the downside, and it being correlated with stocks, as we've definitely seen over the past couple of trading sessions. Range and stop looking better now that we've found a bit more stability in this zone. You can see it was playing out okay, but obviously when we had a big move, obviously a range trading indicator is clearly not going to be the best. But you can see now we sort of once we did sort of consolidate where we are, we've pretty much been held between this nice range here, which is roughly 9,500 and 9,300, roughly there or thereabouts. So yeah, you can see obviously testing the top, testing the bottom, finding space in the middle, and now it's a case of, are we going to come back and test the bottom, potentially break it, or are we going to move up? You can see our Dominator has gone to sell, and our shorter time frame has gone to sell too. We look here at the DMT and the Dominator here, that corresponds to this turning to a sell. You can see we've got the sell and the sell there, we've got the buy here, which yeah, I mean, we'd come off, it wasn't the best buy, let's face it, but you wouldn't have lost any money if you just held that position until the sell. In fact, you may have made a little bit. No, you'd have basically broke even, but we had a nice DMT sell signal, which instantly went into a 6% profit. So that's obviously really good to see. I don't know why I just clicked on that. I meant to just change charts. So that's our Dominator DMT. That's our range and stop. This is our main chart. This is our bread and butter levels chart. So yeah, I mean, it is really a case of if you wanted to take a trade, not that I'm going to suggest people take trades, it's not financial advice. I mean, there's a pretty easy trade here of selling the resistance. You only really need to have your stop a bit above 9,500, and then you can target 9,200, which is a good $200 move. So it's a 2-to-1 risk reward, and then you can clearly see if we do lose this level if you're short, and you could end up having a lot more profit. But yeah, that would be the logical trade for me. Failing that, obviously, I wouldn't necessarily buy as soon as we close up here, but I'd wait for it to close up here, consolidate up here a little bit, and then look to buy the support. I mean, that's a lot of how I trade. sell resistance, buy support, and we're getting resisted here, so this is a sell to me down to here, and if we get above and we get supported, then that's a buy for me from there up to there. So that's what I'm looking at really. Not too much else to say there, guys. Obviously weekend price action is not great. We don't have stock markets really open, but we do have an indication of what's going on. And yeah, so that is that. Let's look at the daily. Let's see how those daily candles closed. I mean, this looks like a this looks like a bear flag, and potentially more continuation, I would guess. I mean that also ties in potentially with the move down here. What I was noticing on a shorter term time frame was this is not looking this is potential, well, it was potentially looking a bit like an if you obviously X this little rally above, this is looking like an ascending triangle. So don't rule out the possibility of that playing out and getting us above this into this nicely into the support zone. So yeah, that's definitely something to consider. I mean, you could also, if you ignore this part of it, look at it really as just a pennant, a tightening formation, which we then obviously would expect to break out, and then that's a pretty much an equal opportunities formation. So taken out, so yeah, I mean that would be it really. Taking them out above the 9,500 would indicate move up. Taken out well below this sort of 9,300 zone. Yeah, 9,300, well 9,300 would definitely be enough. Basically 9,325 will potentially trigger that move down to 9,200, and then it's a case of do the bulls step in. Right, so yeah, so remember guys, not a financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research. I've got the bots back on, so we can do a bot update video later on, and yeah, and I will speak to you guys soon.